What's up, guys? Jay, MorninAfterKill, and I'm back here on Borderlands 2. And today, we're not only gonna finish out our 3-part mini-series on Ki11erSix's, but I'm gonna make good on a promise that I made over a year ago on my channel by showing you just how deceptive these content creators and their communities are by moving the goalpost further away each time I presented more evidence on my claims. So, rewind time to about a year ago, when shortly after Wonderlands released, I started calling out Gearbox and 2K for paying content creators for their silence and being implicit for the lack of content being offered in Wonderlands, and blamed their silence for the devaluation of the Borderlands franchise over time. What went wrong with not only Wonderlands, but the Borderlands franchise in general, all-encompassing? But before I do, I really need to clear something up, because showing 100% undeniable proof of these allegations that we lobbied in this video are not only important, but it's downright pertinent to the downfall of the Borderlands series. And that is that leading up to the launch and during the lifespan of Borderlands 3, Gearbox was not only paying content creators to stream on Gearbox's Twitch's channel, but they also had a clause inside of their contract that if they spoke out against the game on their own social media, that they would lose their contract and would be forfeit any of the money that they were being paid by Gearbox. But no one believed me. These are beloved content creators in our community. It's impossible that they were being paid, let alone for their silence. So I did. I posted proof of Gearbox and 2K's internal documents on paying content creators. And I took another series of strikes from 2K. But the bell was rung. And you know what they say? You can't unring a bell. Now that it was proven that Gearbox and 2K were paying content creators, the narrative changed from they're not being paid to that doesn't prove they were paid for their silence, as per my claims from my first upload in this exposure series. Fair enough. I've proved half my claims that I made so far. But the second portion is the hardest one to prove without leaking the stream team's actual contract and risk taking another copyright strike, which would put my channel in severe jeopardy of being submaddoed by 2K. So I had to go back to gathering evidence. That was back in November of 2022. And I didn't mention it again on my channel until it was safe to do so. But now that it was public knowledge over the past year that these content creators were paid, remember, prior to this, they used to deny, delete comments, and ban chatters for asking about being paid prior to this. Don't forget about that. The narrative changed yet again to, I'm not being paid. Of course I'm being paid. That's public knowledge. But my opinions are my own. However, during my conversation with Ki11erSix's, I purposely read off the exact verbiage from his non-disparagement clause in his stream team contract. the contract saying that you are not allowed to needlessly, excessively badmouth Gearbox or 2K or the Borderlands franchise, they bought your silence. The same one I was offered before the pre-sequel. Here's the worst part, K6. I was offered your contract years before you were. And Ki11er, with his ego, he had to be correct. And he had to correct me on exactly what that clause in his contract meant he was allowed to do. He had to correct me that Baru wasn't fired because of his non-disparagement clause in his contract. No, he was fired because he called somebody a bitch. But that doesn't explain why Goth was fired either. But what he was doing unknowingly is proving the existence of a non-disparagement clause in his contract. This is why lawyers tell you to shut the fuck up if you're ever arrested. Because this goes back to day one of this series, where I promised that I would do what? That leading up to the launch and during the lifespan of Borderlands 3, Gearbox was not only paying content creators to stream on Gearbox's Twitch's channel, but they also had a clause inside of their contract that if they spoke out against the game on their own social media, that they would lose their contract and would be forfeit any of the money that they were being paid by Gearbox. And what have I done? I have shown proof and exposed evidence that not only Gearbox paid content creators to stream, but that their contracts included a non-disparagement clause preventing creators from speaking unfavorably about Borderlands 3 during its lifespan. But also, I've shown that each and every time I provided more and more evidence, the goalposts were moved further and further away by content creators and their communities until they couldn't be moved any longer. K6 is just the only one dumb enough to take the bait each and every time. His confirmation of the non-disparagement clause being in his contract and the evidence of both Baru and Goth being fired for being vocal on their own social media outside of their Twitch stream and their Twitch streaming contract proves and substantiates my claims from day one. Checkmate, motherfucker. So, my name is Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you really thumb up on a video, I'd highly appreciate it because it gives me motivation to make more videos for y'all motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. But I also want to thank those that have stuck with me over the past 3 to 4 years as I have made claims that Gearbox and 2K were paying content creators with a non-disclosure clause in their streaming contract and that they were using it to gaslight and manipulate an entire community to make it seem like that I wasn't enjoying Borderlands 3, to discredit me because they previously tried to buy my silence and couldn't. Thank you guys. For those of you guys that believed me all along. And those of you guys that took like a year's worth of evidence, I appreciate you for finally get here. But, you know, goddamn. You guys made it real fucking tough to put this fucking shit out there and get this evidence. But shout out to K6 for being dumb enough to confirm everything that I've been saying over the past year. My name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see y'all motherfuckers later.
So good to see Fluffy Butt. You are looking good. Now, to invite the guest of honor.